Okay, we've got an addition to the English that wasn't recorded in the last one, but these lines are a little bit different, so I decided to add another video in. We start off with knight f3, and we're coming from a 1c5 move order. It should be noted that you can play e4 if you feel that your opponent isn't a Sicilian player, but sticking with the rest of the repertoire, c4 fits nicely. So we've got a few different oddball systems and sidelines to cover here. So let's get started with g6 on move 2. Now you could play d4 if, again, you don't mind Sicilians and going into, say, Maroczy bind, but I'm a big fan of the way Ulf plays with an early e3. We'll see with the main game, knight c6 being played and how we can punish that, but knight f6 is the superior move order. And what we find here is a transposition into a solid Benoni. And a memory marker, as soon as they play d6, they're going to play bishop g4 at some point. So we take away bishop g4, and that bishop on c8 is going to struggle to find key squares in the near future. Now they go with their typical Benoni play, and they're going to be looking at the d-pawn, so we defend, and b5. So time and again, it's going to come down to, when is b4 a problem? When is e4 a problem? Well, it's not. a3, if you want to press this, you're going to have to press a certain way. And keep in mind, if they try to hit you with a quick b4, that becomes very problematic for them. So after knight a4, there's just nothing here to really pressure the center with. So they go a5. Queen c2, and again, why is b4 not a problem? Well, we'll first take here. We'll take again. And as these exchanges take place, we're just going to come back, and it's not a problem again. So no stress, no worries. We'll take, and now is the appropriate time to go e5. We get this type of position. Knight takes d5 immediately. There's issues due to knight takes a6, followed by bishop takes b5, hitting both rooks. And I got this position as roughly equal, but very, very playable due to these knight takes a6, bishop takes b5 type ideas. So the Benoni, nothing to be very scared of there. So coming back, what about two knight c6? We've got two more lines to cover in this video. Let's first start off with g6. Knight c6 and g6, e3 is even stronger here. One little sideline, d4, and d5 is always the critical move in these structures to gain a tempo. And Anderson just gets this solid King's Indian-like position, and the break is on the queen side. Knight e1, getting rid of that strong bishop, no attacking chances like we talked about in the King's Indian video. g4, playing directly against the attacking ideas. And Anderson agreed to a draw here, but it's definitely a position where h3, king g2, rook h1, black has no attack, the bishop's out of the game. Maybe he just didn't feel like it that day. This was in 2000, but you've got a3, b4, and you can clearly continue to play in this position. Coming back to the main game, knight f6 was played. And it has very much the feel of a colors reverse Tarrasch, but we can beat him to the punch where we're not wasting a tempo. Queen b3. The only other move here is knight takes c3, where we need to remember bishop c4. And you get this solid pawn structure to play against, which is going to be very similar to the main line. And white has no issues here. So coming back after queen b3, e6. You get this structure. And notice how Ulf gets just a little something. Bishop f4, and what's the only advantage that he potentially has? The bishop pair. So I was looking to play bishop e5, but since you're bothering my knight, we'll just play knight e5, hit the c-pawn, and hit the bishop. No more bishop pair. No more potential edge for black. Now we just play forever. And in typical Ulf style, kills counterplay, no access points. And slow, steady improvements, as we've seen time and time again. No stress, no hurry. And a lot of shuffling in this one as it is very dry. Not much winning chances. But what does our boy do? He figures out a way to get some play. Gets an outside pass pawn. And even with bishop of opposite color, it's just enough to be annoying with. Just enough to be nettlesome with. And he keeps going until eventually he gets what he's looking for. Oh! And with the trade, apparently black ran out of time in this game in 2017. Guess we've got 1-0. Lovely. Now, the last line, and this one's going to be from our move order. If we go knight c3, e5, you can go for e3, d4, but I don't think that would be the style that Ulf would play in. I do feel he would go with g3. And generally the theme with playing against the Botvinnik structure is we're looking for a queenside break. So let's see how to get this done. d3, a3, and you go, well, he stopped my break. So we got our picture, now we got our memory marker. I need to add another guy. That's it. Okay, bishop e6, another memory marker. Black wants to play d5. This is very critical. Bishop g5. No d5 if your knight's pinned. If h6, I take your knight on e7. If f6, you've opened up your king forever. Your bishop on g7 is kind of stupid. And I go bishop e3, very important. Again, no d5, bishop takes c5. So, queen d7. I'm getting ready to play my b4 break. So we often see a4. Open file, pressure, pressure. And back to bishop g5, where the engine gives white a slight edge. And we're looking to play knight e3, knight d5, and pile up on the b file where we get excellent play. All of black's pawn moves don't exactly inspire confidence, and I've had many nice games against the Botvinnik. Not a big fan. That will do it for our extra English chapter here in our video series. Just wanted to fill in some gaps.